Today we are going to discuss the Hindu newspaper for the day 9th March 2026. Okay, so in this case we are going to see what is important for us from the newspaper and what we are going to see in the UPSC perspective. Okay, so good morning Rishi. Okay, so you will get this PDF. For offline students you will get it in your batch group. Okay, and for online you can get this PDF in the description box, as well as you can join our Telegram channel using this QR code. Okay, so for the day we are just going to discuss certain things. Kulji. Just give us a minute, there is a technical issue. So, take it. Thank you. So, for the day we are just going to see about One Nation, One Election also. There is an article. Okay. Good morning everyone. So, One Nation and One Election, the Tamil Nadu state Chief Minister have given a statement about One Nation, One Election idea. Okay, and there is certain things regarding the Canada and India's ties also. Recent days we are able to see we are moving towards more of a free trade agreement, right? So we will be, in that case we are going to see how India and Canada's ties are going to be very much in a elaborated manner. What more than a trade, what can we bring in a huge perspective, how we can bring the economical terms and the good partnership between these countries. So these things are going to help us in certain ways, like in the IR perspective, okay, and also in the foreign policy perspective, how to build a foreign policy and to have a good economical ties or any other bilateral ties with other countries. Okay, so okay, we'll go for the topics. We just discuss like where it is important for us. Okay, so it is important like what we are reading, at the same time we have to know like exactly where we have to implement it, right? So in that case, One Nation, One Election, it is talking about the election systems and also the federalism system, right? So here the criticism is about the One Nation, One Election. It is not amounting a huge amount of budget. So there is no fiscal burden on India. We can go for the existing parliamentary democracy system where the state and the central election will be held differently. Okay, this is the first case. So we are going to see it in the GS2 paper in the polity, as it is majorly discussing about the federalism structure. Okay, then the second one is about the India-Canada ties, right? So this India-Canada ties we are going to see in the GS3 paper, and also yes. Internal security is more of Indian perspective, right? But here it is about the international ties. So here we are going to see it in the GS2 paper in the IR perspective, and in the GS3 paper it is in the economical terms, how we are going to get the benefits. Okay. Then the third one is about the care workers. Okay, there is already Asha and Anganwadi workers are not getting the proper recognition, and also they are not getting the proper honorarium like salaries, pension or any other benefits for them. But now India is moving towards more of changing the training more care workers. Okay, so here they have discussed about like we have to focus on already what is existing, rather than keep on adding the training centers and training things. We have to focus on what is already existing. Okay, so in this case it is about care workers, majorly about women centric. Okay, the care, the love, the empathy and sympathy, it is mostly of women oriented job. If you see in the house, majorly the household works will be taken care by whom? The women, right? And the financial terms will be taken care by the men in the family. So here this care work topic we are going to see it in society when it comes to the women empowerment and the women's status in the India. Okay, so it is important for us in which paper? GS1 society. Okay, then the fourth one is diversified crude supplies. Here again, because of the tensions in the western countries and also the West Asia, we are just moving towards of bifurcating our oil reserves. Okay, because India is majorly importing its oil from outside only. We don't have proper resource for oil, so we are importing it. So the western disturbances and other external disturbances, how it is impacting on India and why it is crucial for India to diversify its sources of energy security. So that is what we are going to see in this. So it is important for us in GS2 paper in the IR and also GS3 paper in the economical terms. Why it is GS2? How we are going to look forward more of a better partnership or better diplomacy that we have. Okay? Then the fifth one is about the cheetahs. Recently you might have read about the cheetahs that have been reintroduced in India, right, during 2022. So we are just going to see what is the status of them and how it is important for any ecosystem, be it any bees or any insect or any animal, how it is important for us in the ecosystem. Okay? So in what paper it is going to possess? Very good, environment and ecology, right? Then the sixth one is about the Shine app. Again, it is basically railways have started the app for the women against the sexual harassment in the workplace. So it is again about more of okay, it is just a app. Basically it is there is no mention about how the app is going to work, but instead we are going to see in the GS1 paper society. Clear till now? Shall we move? Okay, thank you. I hope this is clear for the online students as well, right? Okay, moving on to the first one. One nation, one election. Okay, so it is stated that remedy worse than the disease. Okay, so here it have been mentioned that it will be weakening two things. One is federalism structure and also the states autonomy. Okay, so if there is any argument in this, we are just going to have a perspective of a overall perspective, not a opinion based. Okay, so this is obviously we all will know, like center and state sometimes have a misunderstanding or there will be little discrepancies between them, right? So we are not just going to completely take into the crux of it, but instead we are just going to see what are all the major issues that will be affecting UPSC. Okay? So this article is basically on the response to the current, like 2024 we have had a constitutional amendment bill that have been proposed. Okay? So regarding one nation one election, we are just going to hold the elections in at a simultaneous way where the center and the state will be having. So it have been proposed like economical beneficials will be there. We don't want to impose more amount in the election process, and campaigning does not have to be like always engaged. Because see, everywhere it is a campaign, then the implementation of the schemes and the programs will be getting delayed, right? So more of administrative work, the government completely focusing on where? The elections only. So at that time we would be able to see lavish amount of spending in the elections, lot of corruptions and everything. So to curtail this, to construct this, streamlining this and synchronizing the process, we are just going for one nation one election that have been proposed. We will be seeing one by one. Okay, excuse me for my bad handwriting, but I hope I'll be explaining it so it will be easy for you to understand. Okay. So the crux of the article is about holding Lok Sabha and state assembly elections together may harm Indian democracy and federalism rather than improved governance. Okay, so when we see about the federalism structure and democracy, can you anybody tell me like what is the exact thing that is here? How it is going to affect democracy and also the federalism? Can anyone? Just give an idea, not an issue. Whether it is right or wrong, it is completely fine. Okay, not an issue. So federalism, one nation, one election, where the problem hits here is like the state government, if in 2026, okay, the one nation one election is going to happen, the already existing government will be having what? The limited time period, so they cannot complete their schemes. So more of it, if there is any already it have been completed, the 5-year tenure, if it have been completed, what it will be doing? It will be mostly impacting the president's rule. The governor will be mostly of taking care of the state's conduct. So what it is doing, actually it is taking out of the state's responsibilities. It is completely coming under whom? The center, because governor is a agent of center, right? So he works for center mostly, right? So it is affecting the federalism in that case. Democracy here, it is about the elections, free and fair elections, and it is separate elections have to be done, where if there is any no motion confidence, or if there is any issue with the governance, immediately we can dissolve it. But when it comes to one nation one election, if there is any disturbances, or if there is any if I don't like that government, I cannot push for the dissolution of the governance. So the election process, the democracy here is being affected. Clear till now? Any doubt? See, please be open, like if you have any doubt, please let me know, I'll be there to help you out. Okay? Then we have discussed that because of the 129th Constitution Amendment Bill, this article have been proposed, right? Okay. So the one nation one election we have discussed. We are going to conduct the elections simultaneously. Okay? Then the major arguments, the favorable arguments for one nation one election is reducing the election expenditure, but the contradictory here is when we look into the data, it is only 0.03% of our GDP is been used here. So it is which is a very feasible amount. So it is contradicting here. So to reduce election expenditure, already the election expenditure is very less. So it is not going to affect much. So that is first thing. Second one, to reduce government disruptions. Here to reduce governance disturbances are here is majorly about like if there is any failed government, mostly it is coming under the hands of president's rule. Okay, first thing. The next one is about reducing the continuous campaigning, where we have discussed like the administrative works and the welfare works are being stagnant, rather than we are focusing more on campaigning and the election fairs. Okay? Then other one is to improve the administrative efficiencies. So more into administrative work. If there is only one time election have been done, the election commission also doesn't have the burden of going into more of election commission does not wanted to waste its time. Okay, so that is what the major thing. Reduced accountability, frequent elections. Exactly, Abhi. ठीक है. So if we see the one nation, okay. The other threats here are basically the parliamentary system principle that we have discussed. The election, if there is any I don't have any trust on my government, I can easily go for it, right? I can go and ask for the dissolution of the government, right? Or else there will be a fresh elections after point of time. Then it weakens the democracy that we have already discussed, where the majority will be elected, but in this case this may affect. And threat to federalism also we have discussed, right? Then unexpired term of election. So here it is stated that again the presidential rule. So if there is any election that have been already have done before the one nation one election, okay, so from that point of time to the new fresh elections, it will be termed as presidential rule only. Governor will be taking care, everything will be handled by them only, center only. So somewhere or the other the new elections process will be always delayed. So that is the major issue here. Okay? So the risk of extended presidential rule and also the budget issues. So that we have discussed, like major of the amount is going for this elections only, but in terms when we see into the exact numbers, it is very minimal and feasible things. Okay? Okay, so this is the major concern, that is the criticism that have been given. The crux of the article is about it shortens, one nation one election shortens the states mandates, where more of a upper hand of center will be happening here. Okay, first one. Second thing is about the delayed elections that we discussed. When there is a different government have to be made, so there will be distributions problem in between the time period. Okay, like the delayed elections will be if in Tamil Nadu, okay, so 2026 election is there, Okay, but in 2027, if we are going to implement one nation, one election, we have to withhold the 2026 election, right? So there will be delayed election. Till then, the process, the administrative process and the welfare schemes will not be, it will not be accessible to the people. So there will be delayed elections because of synchronizing the whole thing. Different states will be having different elections. So if I want to bring one election to at a one time, I have to either proceed or I have to wait for other people to have to wait for a synchronized election. So that is the delayed elections here, and the increased central control over states that we have discussed. So this is what from this article. So if you have any doubt, please let me know, otherwise we will move forward. Okay, clear? Ankit, any doubt? Okay. Moving on, the new Canada-India economic alignment emerges. So already we have seen about the European Union trade, also free trade agreement, right? We have moved forward. Now the recent Canadian Prime Minister have visited India, and there was a lot of talks were going on between India and Canada regarding the trade and everything. Okay? So mostly if you see, India is majorly engaging in certain things like free trade agreements and also tie-ups with countries where the emerging technologies like semiconductors and many other technology oriented, because now we are focusing more on growth. Already we have sufficient population, now we have to focusing more on skill oriented and also the development oriented. So with the minimal resources that India have, we have to, the more of a technology based things, we have to get help from outside only. So that is the major thing. ठीक है? Yes, uranium के लिए हमने तो 10 year का agreement ले लिया है, that is right. So more than uranium we are just going to see in this. ठीक है? Earlier, what is the tie between India and Canada? It is basically a tensioned ties, right? हाँ जी, बताइए, बताइए please. देखो, मोनोटोनस तो नहीं होना चाहिए ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, इट इज़ डिफिकल्ट, एटलीस्ट वी कैन हैव इंटरेक्शन, राइट? अगर आपको ओपिनियन है, कुछ कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन है तो बता सकते हैं, वी विल डिस्कस. ठीक है, बताइए इंडिया एंड कनाडा का टाइज कैसे था? ओके, वेरी गुड. सो व्हाट वाज द एग्जैक्ट प्रॉब्लम बिटवीन द टेंशंस? जी. So the Khalistani protest and also the Khalistani movement, what happened in Canada, okay, so that was a major issue there. So there it was suspected that India has an involvement in that, right? So but we have denied clearly. See, we have no hands in this. You can take the actions, but please don't take our name. It is completely Indian government is completely out of it. Okay. So now we are moving towards more of a reviving all those, resetting all those tensions, and we are just moving towards a bilateral and a helpful cooperation. Okay? So the first thing is about the visit of Canadian Prime Minister. Because of that only the 10-year uranium have also been signed. So why it is important for India to have uranium from other countries? Can you please tell me why uranium is important for India? Power supply. Take it. Ji. Exactly. So if you see, India's energy security is based upon two things. One is oil for LPG, petroleum, diesel and everything, and other thing is about mostly the electricity that we go through. Our railways are having increased electricity, matlab electric trains, right? And also the internal consumption like the household or any companies or everything is running under electricity, right? So we need, for the civilian purpose, we need more electricity for any of the conduct, right? So India's nature basically on the coal based energy. We have hydrothermal power also, but it is not giving that efficient output. But when we compare the coal, it is giving a good efficient outcome, but the problem here is the carbon emission. And we are keep on digging, we are keep on moving towards a non-renewable resource which will be affecting the ecosystem also. First thing is about the carbon and second thing is about the ecosystem. Then, so if we see the sustainable way, what is the better way we see? The most better way is about the nuclear power, right? So if we have a good nuclear reactors, when we have good nuclear storage technology, so that will be helping us to take into the consideration, we can move towards more of a greener energy, right? So where the sustainable energy also will be there, the continuous power supply also will be there. If we majorly focus on the coal, what it will be happening, after some point of time we will be out of coals, right? So it will be a major threat for our energy. Am I right? Okay. If we are having a continuous supply, that will be a better one, cost efficient also the nuclear power, so we are getting uranium for that purpose majorly. Okay, so this agreement is not going to stop only with the uranium. Majorly we are moving towards the critical minerals also, okay, and also rare earth materials as well. But here mostly we are moving towards the critical minerals, where the nickel, cobalt, all these things will be helpful for us moving towards EV vehicles. So more of a cleaner energy, you can say. The technology and the resources that we are going to get from these trades are mostly of cleaner energy. Clear till now? India it is used to India is, yes Abhi, that is what we are discussing. Okay? So the economic trade cooperation, that was going to be more of a what, trade oriented. This will be okay, this economic, the comprehensive economic partnership agreement hai na, so that is going to be extended more than a trade. It is going to be what, the investment. We can look for many FDIs, the infrastructures, the growth and the development base, the capital investment will be happening there. So we are moving towards more of capital investments. Then the energy cooperation that we talked about, the uranium and critical minerals also, the technology collaboration, where here the another concern with Malaysia, we had the technology collaboration for what, semiconductors. So we are going to resource semiconductors from there, and also the technology to improve. With the Malaysian case, what we have signed for, one is semiconductors technology, the skill for them. So their institutions will be giving the training and skills to our youth, so we would be able to emerge as a more of a skilled youth population. Okay? So in that case, again we are going to move towards Canada for the technological collaboration in the case of nuclear program and also many other programs as well. Okay? Once it is signed, we will be getting what all the exact thing will be there. So for this, you have to follow PIB. Okay? Every day in YouTube also PIB is releasing a video of 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Apart from that, you can read it in the government official website of PIB. Okay? So the revival of trade agreement is mostly of comprehensive economic partnership agreement, right? So to reduce the trade barriers, less tariffs, where our imports will be helping, the less tariffs will be giving what, the sustainable amount of products, right? We will be getting in a very less amount. And the second thing is about to promote the investment, the trustee partnership. See, if any country is coming to invest in my country, there should be a trust. There should be some stability in my country. The currency, be it internal politics, or be it the external aggressions. If I wish to go and get a tie-up with North Korea, is it possible? Because it is completely of dictatorship there, and also there is no good relations with any other country, right? But when I see US is kind of a more stable country. Their economy is good. I can withstand their promises. There is some disturbances, but still I can trust them, right? So this trust partnership will be giving to promote the investments in the infrastructure, in the skill oriented, so everything it will be helpful, and to increase the trade cooperation that we have already seen. So trade cooperation is nothing but not only based on the products, okay, more than a products, it is about the tariff, so that it will be directly impacting us in the amount of it will be directly impacting in the products of India. Okay, so there is one term called import price inflation. Okay, the oil is coming from Iran. Earlier we got oil from Iran, right? Due to the disturbances there, what we are getting, the oil prices is going for hike, right? So if the oil prices, India import the crude oil and it refines and use it as a petroleum, diesel and everything, right? So the improvement in the price, like the higher prices of crude oil, it is impacting in India in what way? The higher refining process. So the amount that have been increased in the refining process will be impacting in my transport system. So if I want to purchase any goods like vegetables or any other thing, so they will be increasing the cost of those, because they have to take the money out of that, right? See, from rural area to urban area, I have to transport the vegetables. So already the vegetable price is 10 rupees. The increased petroleum price also I will be adding on the vegetables only. So instead of 10 rupees, I am going to impose it for 20 rupees. So the import price inflation will be hitting on what? Indian economy. So that is what is a major thing. So if we increase this trade cooperation and the tariffs have been reduced, that will be helpful for India to have more of a sustainable inflation in India. Okay? So can you anybody tell what is inflation? Okay, ठीक है. Clear now? कोई दिक्कत तो नहीं है अभी तक? ठीक है. So the economic cooperation that we are focusing here, majorly of energy cooperation, where oil, natural gas and the nuclear resources, we are just going to get it. Critical minerals that we talked about, the EV vehicles, that will be like BS6 and more, we will be having it, right? So more of a, you can go for this critical minerals. What are all those minerals? Okay, I'm just naming one or two: cobalt, nickel and everything. Okay. Then the technology and innovation. Here the technology and innovation is about more of a new technologies that we don't have. We are just going to get it from Canada. Okay. The financial services and investment, where we talked about the infrastructure, the airport will be built. Okay. Logistic infrastructure and also the renewable energy like the solar panels. We have larger area in Gujarat side and Rajasthan side. We would be able to see lot of solar grids and everything, right? So to implement in a larger area, we would be getting the technology from them. And also the urban development, where the city planning, if you see in still many areas like Kerala and Tamil Nadu, the coastal areas, when it comes to Kerala, if it rains in the monsoon, every year it will get the flood, right? So for that and like Himachal and Uttarakhand, they are also having the problems of landslides and everything due to this monsoon, right? So the urban planning, the urban development, for that infrastructure planning we need some expertise. Okay? So we are going to get that urban planning, like be it the industries, more of industries will be in the urban areas, right? So the industries, city planning, and apart from that the development oriented, like bridges or any construction, that we are just going to have a tie-up, because see, Indian government alone cannot go for all the development process, because it is a huge amount have been involved. So when we get a technology like metro, we got it from Japan, right? So these kind of technology supports and the cooperation will be giving development and also the inflow of money. So we will be getting the foreign currency also, our value of Indian rupee will not go down. Okay? So the agri cooperation, where the fertilizers, the irrigation facilities and also many other tractor technologies will be getting from there. So that is what benefiting India in this side. Okay? So apart from that, what are all the things? The crux is the accessibility to the natural resources. Okay, more of a cleaner energy we are moving, so that there won't be any burden of carbon emission or the burden of completely existing what, taking off the carbon is another thing. Then we don't want to stress more on the non-renewable resources. Okay? Then the investment capital, the technological things, and also so we will be getting lot of a huge market for Canada. India is a market, and for India, the Canada, the Northern American part is a very huge market. Okay? So we will be getting lot of export benefits as well. Okay? Clear till now? Shall we move to the next one? Okay. So the need to recognize volunteer care workers. So this article is basically on the Women's Day, okay, on March 8, 2026. We had this thing. India is going to create more training centers, and we are just going to provide more training to the care workers. Okay, so we have seen in India, not only in India, major of the areas the care is about in the hands of women mostly. Even the data point is also there, we will be discussing one by one. So this article is talking about the Indian government have segregated certain amount in the union budget for increasing the training for these care workers, where they will be in the healthcare system and also the child nutrition and many other areas they are going to have a training. Okay, so the concern is majorly here about where already the ASHA workers and the Anganwadi workers and also the midday meal scheme workers are not getting the proper recognition. When there is no proper recognition for already existing people, this new budget where the new people will not, it won't be any feasible, there won't be any feasible result where we are neglecting existing people and we are just bringing in new people. So that will not be any proper development will not be there. Okay, so that is what the major concern here. So we will be seeing one by one. So majorly this article is about 2026-27 budget में वो strong care ecosystem provide करने के लिए एक bill propose किया उन्होंने, right? 1.5 lakhs people will be trained under this. So that is what the major thing, and to provide skills in genetic care and also health care. Okay, so next, to align the training with national skill qualification framework, where we are moving towards a skill oriented, be it the internship scheme, PM internship scheme, or this caregiver scheme also will be having more of a skill oriented things. Okay, so the issues here if we see, the first thing is about no recognition for care services providers, ASHA workers, Anganwadi workers and also the midday meal skill workers. Problem about the recognition here is, see, they are working for government, right? They are working under the state government, but the problem here is they are not termed as employees. Instead, they are being termed as volunteers. Okay, so the problem here is, for volunteers there is no proper legal framework. They cannot ask for pension, they cannot ask for the salaries demand. Okay, whatever the government is giving under its mercy, that they have to take it, right? And other thing about the recognition is there is no pension, there is no work environment laws also for them. So that is the major issue here. Okay, the role of women in India's welfare system, ASHA workers. So what will the ASHA workers will be doing in the public health care, like the preliminary health care centers, they will be, yes, exactly. So the maternal and also the child health care, they will be playing the major role. They don't stop there, they even extend that to the community collaboration also. They will be closely intact with the local communities, right? So the community cooperation, also the maternal health support of the women, they will be helping it. And also the child health care, they are the first people who give the, like, involved in the polio drops and any other vaccination centers, everything, the ASHA workers will be in the first point of contact, right? So when it comes to the Anganwadi workers, what they will be doing? Teach students. So the health, the education system is basically with their hands, and also the child nutrition also been taken care by Anganwadi workers. So the education, nutrition, also the growth monitoring about their weight, the stunting and wasting. So all these have been initially monitored by these Anganwadi workers. Okay, then they give their support for the pregnant and lactating women. So the medicines, okay, the folic acid medicines and be it any medicines, or tracking their health and the weight of the fetus and everything have been tracked initially from this Anganwadi workers. Okay, so the midday meal scheme workers would, right? So in the midday meal scheme, if you see in the reality ground, it is not just helping students. The idea of midday meal scheme is like, if we provide food to the students, at least for that the people will be coming to the schools. So if you see the reality, it is not only stopping with students, it is more moving towards people are filling their tiffin boxes and they are moving, they are giving it to their parents also. So midday meal scheme, it is not only about the children, it is in reality it is feeding other adults as well. Okay, so it is very important. And the midday meal scheme workers, if there is no recognition, if they are going for strike and everything, in these three areas, healthcare will be affected, the basic education will be affected, and also the food supply also will be affected. So somewhere or the other, the rural and the urban, child and women section are being more of affected here. Okay? So that is what the major thing. Here why we are talking about the Anganwadi workers, midday meal, and also the Asha workers. The composition of these workers, 99% is women. So we are seeing the vulnerable position of women, and also there already we have lot of glass ceiling for women. There is less recognition for women when compared to men. So these are also keep on adding. Even their work is essential and very crucial, still it has been unrecognized. They are recognized as a volunteers only. Okay? Even they have striked also. They have asked for like 15,000 as a salary honorarium, and also the pension schemes and everything. Okay, so we have to see every section of the people. So when you become the bureaucrat, you have to keep that in mind. It is important for you to understand the grassroots level governance and the grassroots level issues that will be impacting huge in the higher level. Okay, so they are termed as a shadow labor force. Okay, the regular and essential work, but no official recognition as employees. Here we are talking about the salaries, pension, honorarium, and also their leaves also. They don't have any proper leave. They don't have any maternity leave also. Okay, so all these are like volunteers. They can come and they can go, but here they are being termed as a volunteer. Still they cannot take leave. It will be a LOP for them. Okay, so the partial support by the government is gratuity. And one more thing, not every state is giving that. These Anganwadi workers, Asha healthcare, like mostly public health is coming under the state list. So there is a differential distribution between the states also. Like the well-versed state are giving good amount of salaries, but the smaller states, those who don't have a proper financial backup, they are not able to give the proper salaries and pensions for them. So here the center support also should be there, but it has not been given. So there should be hand in hand support of center and the state, so that the workers also will be getting things. Okay. Then the Ayushman Bharat, where they get the insurance, it is not completely in. If you see, is it accessible for every Indian Asha workers and Anganwadi workers? It is not possible. Okay. Certain people are getting and certain people are not getting it. And also the pension scheme through PM Shram Yogi Mandan. Okay. So all these you have to just go through it. Keep that in mind, the status, who are all getting affected and what is their impact. Okay, that's it. So when we talk about the data, okay, the national duty of women is caring, and the time use survey of India, this have been taken only by India only. Okay? So in 2024 it have stated that 41% of women are being in this caregiving things. Okay? Almost in their life 140 minutes, like in a day they are giving 140 minutes for caregiving, and when it comes to men it is 21.4%, where we are able to see the ratio, like literally 40% is with women and 20% is with men. The gap between them, we can see it, right? The government policies, the contradictory one, where to train the new people, where the existing people are having already the major issues, right? Okay. Their demands or the solutions that have been proposed is, in the Dharam Singh case, okay, they have said that if their worker is completely, okay, the work that is regular and essential, they cannot be termed as a volunteer or a temporary worker anymore. They have to be permanent. Okay, and in that case, if there is employee, if they have recognized as employee, what they have to do? They have to remove the label of volunteers. Okay, they have to give in the term of permanent workers or the government employees or anything. Then the honorarium salary have to be given on a regular basis, and they have to get the framework of International Labour Organization also. So whatever the workplace environment and also the sexual harassment committees, all these have to be provided for them as well, to upgrade the skills. So instead of bringing more people, the existing people can be given the skills, so that there will be a proper outcome. Then the yellow framework that we have talked. ठीक है. So we will move to the next article. Till now, is this clear or do you have any doubt? Okay, so this is about the oil thing. Okay, we are more into bifurcating the oil. So India is importing 88% of its complete oil security from other countries only, majorly Iran, Russia. Okay, now we are moving towards US also, because US have reduced the tariffs. Okay, so here the major diversification is about US, Russia and Western African countries. Okay, so here about the crude oil, why it is essential. We all know the energy security is basically we are refining it and we are taking the LPG, petroleum, diesel, everything from crude oil only. Okay, majorly we are not more into electrical vehicles, we are still with the oil based vehicles and everything, right, for generators also. Okay, so right now it is said that what is the need for the bifurcation and the diversification. If you see, earlier we said like for 50 days we have this buffer stocks, but right now we are not having that buffer oil. So right now we have to move towards the sustainable supply of the oil. Okay, so that is what here the 88% of crude oil is basically of import. Okay, the higher crude oil prices will be impacting. See, why I am keeping it very simple here, because in the initial stages itself we have discussed like what is the major issue and everything, why we need major crude oil sustainable supply and everything. Okay, so how it is going to impact in Indian economy. The higher crude oil price will be impacting in higher prices in commodities, where the logistics and the transport will be implementing those price hikes. First one. Second one is about the fiscal deficit. If we keep on giving upon our currency and there will be a fiscal deficit for Indian government, the currency keep on flowing out and the tariff more we pay, it will be reducing our current account. Okay, so the fiscal deficit will be happening, and the import price inflation that we have discussed, right. So it will be those higher prices will be impacting in our regular essential goods also. Then the pressure on rupee, where we are forced to have a depreciation and we will be giving out lot of rupees, right. So that is a major issue here. Clear till now? Nothing else in this. They have just given where we are just going to just a second. They have just given like from where we are just going to transfer the oil. Okay, the bifurcation only. Next one is about the Cheetah. Okay, here the major thing you have to see about the status of Cheetah and also NTCA. Okay, so the National Tiger Conservation Authority, they have noted that cheetahs that we have relocated from the African countries like Namibia, yes, South Africa and Botswana. So these three areas we have we have translocated the cheetahs, because India got its cheetahs extinct, okay, in 1947 due to poaching and hunting. Majorly that showcase like in that period hunting is basically for their skin, nails, teeth and everything, right. So to show that how powerful they are. So in that period all the cheetahs have been killed and we were left with no cheetahs. In 1952 we have officially said that India does not have any cheetah. Okay, we will be it have been completely vanished in India. But in 2022 we have relocated around like 29 adults from these three countries. Okay, so these three countries, from there certain adults, like 9 adult cheetahs have been died also, and certain cubs also have been died. But now we are able to see the good progress with the number of cheetahs. Okay, so the thing is, here is 2 different cheetahs were there. One is Asiatic and also the African variety. Okay, so when it comes to the Asiatic, it is majorly in Iran, but Iran refused to give us those species because they are already have around like 45 to 50 numbers only, so very less numbers, so they are not ready to give the species to us. But when it comes to the Western African countries, we like the African countries, we got from them, okay, and we have the variety of African cheetahs right now. Okay, this variant you have to be understand, because Asiatic is currently present only in Iran, nowhere in the world. Okay, so now we have this article is basically, now we have got the pattern from Madhya Pradesh Kuno National Park. They have been moving towards more of Rajasthan area because of the grasslands present there. Okay, so the biome they need, the habitat that is very necessary for cheetah is grassland. That the prelims oriented facts alone we have to keep in mind. Okay, so this is the data about this. So 1947, due to hunting and poaching, it have completely vanished. In 1952 we officially declared, and also in 2022 we have relocated cheetahs from African countries, right? Okay, so Namibia, Botswana and also South Africa were been reintroduced. Where to? National Park. Okay, so Namibia, Botswana and also South Africa. Okay, na? Okay. So the count was around 29 adults and 28 cubs. We have 29 adults have been brought. In that 9 died, but then cubs that have born to, in India, it is 28, and out of that 12 have died. But we have a good numbers right now, and enhancing and enriching their habitat and everything, we would be able to get good number of cheetahs in the future times. Okay, so their habitat is grasslands, and this IUCN status vulnerable when it comes to African cheetah, and critically endangered. The globally it is critically endangered for Asiatic cheetahs. That is what from this article. Okay. Okay, the final one for the day is Shine. This is the app introduced by the railway system. Okay, so where their employees and also the visitors can use this app for complaining against if there is any sexual harassment in the workplace. Okay, so this is what the major concern here. So this app have been certain facilities, like they can directly give the reporting, or they can directly complain it to the human resource management system. They will be taking care of it, where in this area we have to keep in mind 2-3 things. One is Vishaka guidelines, okay, when it have started and what are all those, and also POSH Act 2013. Okay, that we have to keep that in mind. So when it comes to Vishaka guidelines, it have been started in 1991. The confidentiality should be there, the redress should be there, and also we have to within 90 days of time period we have to take the action. Okay, when from the date of complaint arised, within 90 days we have to take the action. Okay, this is a major thing, and confidentiality should be carried upon. Okay, there should be no reveal of face, name or anything. So the confidentiality reporting will be directly to the HR management, and also it covers the permanent staff, contractors and visitors. It is not only for permanent staff, it is for other workers as well. Okay, so when it comes to Vishaka guidelines, the Supreme Court have told that to prevent, prohibit and readdress the sexual harassment in the workplace have to be taken care. Okay, then the redressal process is about 90 days. That is for this. See, if you see in a daily basis, not only women, now men are also facing a lot of sexual harassment. There is, yes, it is true. Physically, okay, if you see in public transport areas like the bus stand and everything, it is happening in public toilets. I am not only telling for women, it is also for men. Okay, so we have to keep that in mind. Every section of the society is getting affected somewhere or the other. So it is about the thought process that we have to progress here. Okay, so that we have to keep in mind. So physically, and this harassment, Vishaka guidelines takes care of not only physical, verbal, non-verbal, showing pornography, so and asking for the adjustments and also if you need any promotion, you have to do certain things. If you want this opportunity, you have to do this. All these have been how men, ma'am. There is no different thing for men. Okay, it is about like the homosexual people, right? So they are harassing the men. Otherwise, like when it comes to women, it is heterosexual, right? The men will be harassing women, but when it comes to men, it is men to men mostly. Women to men is also there. So we have to just see that is nothing there is to discuss or something or making fun. But the thing is about when it comes to dignity, it is dignity for everybody, be it child, be it men, be it women, whomsoever it is. Okay, so that is a major concern: dignity, the safety, and the proper environment where we can work, where we can progress with a proper mental and physical health, right? So that is a major concern we have to look here. Okay, okay. So all these are coming under this Visakha guidelines also. The major thing, they can ask question on Visakha guidelines on these things, like what all have been covered and how the process will be going on. So that's it. Till now, if you have any doubt, please let me know. Okay, keep reading. Okay, always the one thing that will be always helping you is like learn. How far you are learning, it will be keep on enriching your personality, and also the the quality that you intake, okay, from the education is a huge thing. You can give a greater impact, you can give a major things. Even if you see me, why I am standing here, it is because of the learning process only. Okay, so please keep learning, keep educating people also. Okay, whatever the knowledge that you have acquired, please give it to other people. It will be keep on growing. Okay, thank you so much. And I think today's session is clear. अगर कोई doubt है तो please बता देना. ठीक है? ठीक है. All the very best. अगर online students को कोई दिक्कत है, कोई doubt है तो please let me know. एक मिनट अभी कैमरा ऑन है. If there is any doubt for the online students, you can tell us. No ma'am, no doubts. ठीक है, thank you. जी.